Don't let money change you. Hey, butterflies. Hey, butterflies. Welcome back to Evolving Butterfly Goddess with me, Doctress Nicole. Here we are all about evolving out loud in our life, our money, and our purpose through the energy of our ancestors. I want to thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, and your subscribes here on the channel. It is always appreciated. And a major shout out to all of the channel members, as well as the members of the Butterfly Effect School of Transformation. Thank you for your continued support here in this space. So, we are back with another message. Listen, Linda, okay? So, first off, if you were guided to this message, you were guided to click on this message, and you're still here listening right now, this is your message. Trust your intuition. Don't question it, because as soon as you start questioning it, that's exactly when things are going to start get a little wonky. And that's what happens in life in general. That's how we shift our frequency so often and don't realize it. Is that all it takes is, just like how all it takes is faith the size of a mustard seed, all it takes is doubt with the size of a mustard seed. You've been battling that doubt that once upon a time it grew up to become this big old mustard plant. It was no longer just a seed. It eventually became this big old plant. But then you got and went through the process and you chopped it down. No harm to real mustard plants was, you know what I'm saying, done. But you chopped down that plant of doubt and then planted the seed of faith. And you've been watering that seed of faith. And with you watering that seed of faith, you've been allowing yourself to flow with the process. You haven't been questioning things. When you feel the need to do something, you go for it, you try it. You don't give up as easily. You've truly been evolving. And this is nothing but a message of confirmation to you of what's coming. This is a message of confirmation of, see me as being just the glitch in the matrix where I'm just showing up as an oracle to share with you the confirmations of what you've already been feeling, what you've already been experiencing, what you've already been seeing around you. That's all I'm here to be right now, okay? So, when you get this abundance, and this abundance is going to come in varying forms. It's going to come in the form of financial abundance. It's also going to come in the abundance of like community, people, like networking. Don't let it change you. 333. Don't let it change you. You're being gifted and rewarded with access to something because you have a sense of a pure heart for what it is that you want to do. But what you need to know is that in this area where you're growing in and you're building in, there's a lot of crooks. There's a lot of crooks, a lot of fakes, it's a lot of stuff going on. Okay. And in everything that is going on, is important for you to not judge off of most of those who are in this field or this area. Okay. Because it's hard to tell who's real, who's fake, who's the crook, who did it authentically, who did it naturally, who did it organically. And so you're being reminded to not like put anything against the other to like judge it. 444. Because some people's origin stories have been changed and created. Okay. This field, this area that you're going in, it's been changed and it's been created. And so sometimes things can look like, you know, it's so easy. And then when you start doing it, you're like, why does it take me hard, like longer to do this? because certain things weren't set up for you in the forehand like it was for others. Okay. And so for you, your process is totally different. So allow yourself to be molded to go along with this and understand you're doing it the organic route. Okay. Don't let this money change the core you. You had to go through a process of truly understanding what peace and abundance meant to you. So it used to be the name brand, the being seen and flexing and all of that, to where you had to go through processes in your life to where you understood that's not really abundance. That's not really um, prosperity. You started defining you started defining prosperity differently. You had to go through a process to learn how to handle abundance, learning how to manage abundance, because you were surrounded by people, things, and places that it drained you, and you learn from observing, of course, right? Social learning theory. And so you learn through observing and seeing the adults in your life and how they handle things, how they mishandle things. And you had to break all those habits. You had to break the habits. You had to break the mindsets, the thought processes that didn't work for you, that wasn't working to your advantage. Okay. You had to become unapologetic. And in that, you came to learn what you truly value and see as being valuable, and you see how money provides access to peace. It provides access to slow mornings and slow days. So it's not, oh, I'm getting this and I'm just racing to keep getting more, keep getting more, keep getting more. So I'm just always busy to the point where I'm not a human, I'm not enjoying anything. You want your wealth in an enjoyable state. And especially if you're still in the message right now, that's what your last like life lessons were going through with you, to where you started looking at wealth differently. You started defining wealth differently. What exactly was wealth? What exactly was growth? What exactly was abundance? What exactly is being rich? Because your wealth is going to be enjoyable. Your wealth is enjoyable. Your wealth is enjoyable. Your wealth is enjoyable because you've learned how to value and enjoy every stage of your life. You've learned how to embrace every stage of your life. And so, what does this mean about the people and things around you? There's going to be every attempt possible to try to pull you back into the cycle of fear, to try to pull you back into the cycle of doubt, to try to pull you back into the cycle of chasing, to try to pull you back into the cycle of fear, to try to pull you back into a cycle of where you have been delivered from. It's coming. It's coming, but you're prepared for it. It's not something that it's just going to like pop up and you're just going to be in a frenzy. You've had plenty. It's like you've been going through training day after training day after training day. You've gone through boot camp, boot camp, boot camp, spiritual boot camp, physical boot camp, emotional boot camp. That crow is crowing, baby. Spiritual boot camp, emotional boot camp. You've gone through all of it, okay? And you've passed it. You passed it. And so what does that mean? You're ready to be out on the battlefield. You're ready to win this battle. You're ready to get out there and make this happen. And it's not a sense of winning the battle of, oh, you about to be out here fighting and overgiving. No, it's the sense of the battle of just the world of how it's going to keep trying to come at you with the opposite energy to pull you out of the frequency that you've shifted to. So it's going to come in the way of old friends, old lovers, family that you don't talk to anymore. It's going to come in the form, various forms. It depends. You know, if they're going to send this one, if this one don't work, all right, let's try to send another one. Send the other one. That don't work. All right, let's send another one, right? We don't know exactly how or when, just know it is. And that you know that it is, you know how to handle it when it happens. You don't get caught up in it. You don't get caught up in the game of it because you know it. You're able to identify it, you're able to see it, and you're able to be like, you know what? Yeah, this is a no. This is a no. This season, that's going to be the test that you're going to have to make sure that you're able to withstand, and that's your ability to say no. That's your ability to say no. Because there's going to be times where something doesn't look like anything is off or wrong, but your spirit is going to say, yeah, no. And then you start to want to rationalize it, analyze it, make sense of it. But in you doing that, you're creating issue. You're creating unbalance. You're not trusting your inner guide that's able to see and sense and feel things that the other side of you can't, that the physical side of you can't. Nothing is too hard for you. You have to know that you having breath in your lungs, you having a mind that's able to work, you are more than capable. You're more than capable of the things that you want, of the things that you desire. You're more than capable of it. Y'all, my purple passion, I moved it outside. It was in my room, but I moved it outside so that it could. Oh my gosh, I just broke it. I just broke my baby. Oh my gosh. Let me leave her alone. Oh my gosh, I just broke her. Dang, that's wild. Even though her, the branch was a little, I think I could still propagate it actually. I think I could still propagate this back in here. That's what I'm gonna do when I get off of here. because it has like a node. So I'm almost sure I can just get it propagated back in for it to start getting another root in with some water. So we just gonna have that right there. You know, that's one thing I love about with plants is that a lot of plants you're able to like multiply them off of just all you need is just one little piece and you can build off of that little piece. You know what I'm saying? Now, not all things can be built off of, but the ones that you can build off of is pretty dope, you know, to see how a big old plant can come from just one small um leaf and node, you know. But that's like how life has been, you know, when looking at even with this message. Like what you've been building, what you've been growing, what you've been evolving, it started as a small node. It started as a small seed. And it's like, look at where you've gotten to now. Look at where you've advanced to now. So don't let this be the time where you doubt yourself. Don't let this be the time where you start to, you know, question like, okay, am I, you know, doing this properly or am I doing this properly? Am I looking at this? And, you know, this is not the time to question and analyze too much. You are being called to operate through like how you feel spiritually. What do you feel in tune with intuitively? Follow that. That's not going to guide you in the wrong space. And as you keep following that more and more, because you're going to have decisions to make that are not going to make sense to you. The decisions are not going to make sense. It's not going to make sense. But when you make it and you give it the proper time, you're going to find yourself like, oh, okay, I get it now. I understand it now, you know? Because the thing is that, okay, think about this like life is like a game, scavenger hunts, different levels, right? Each level we learn a new skill. We obtain new trinkets, new, you know, new prizes for defeating it. And usually it builds upon the last one. Each one builds upon to the next one, okay? That's how life has been for you, for all of us. Each level, each thing has just been simply building upon from the last one to the last one, from the last one, from the last one. Which means similar to like compound interest, you know, which means you need to take, you need the previous information. So you can't move up to third grade without completing second grade, right? You need that information in order to make the best informed decision. And everything that you've gone through is what's helping you up into this point. Okay. And it's one of those where it's like, don't allow yourself to shift into making a decision from a place of trauma or a place of lack. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I don't even think you know how much wealth you calling into your life right now. That dumb idea that you felt like was so dumb and stupid and no one will support, you sticking to it, you having faith in it, you not stopping, you being your biggest fan. One day you're going to be having a million fans, a million people helping you, pushing your what am I thinking of? Like, say you create a campaign or something, millions of people pushing your campaign, and next thing you know, your campaign turns into like an annual event that's hosted around the world. And all it did was start from a place of awareness in response to your own personal experiences. And you kept going. You kept going. You didn't quit. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You about to touch the most amount of money that anyone in your family has ever touched. And you want to know why? You had to choose to live a life different from them. Because the life that they've lived is what got them to where they're at, right? So you had to realize I can't walk in anyone's footsteps but the footsteps I create of my own. You about to touch so much. As soon as I said that, oh my gosh, is it back on and recording? I hope it is. I hope it's back on and recording. As soon as I said that, a phone call just came in, and that feels like very much so a confirmation of what we were just saying, of what's coming your way. Like, answer the phone. I mean, I couldn't answer the phone. I had to decline it because I'm focused on you. You all are my priority right now. Um, but you're answering the phone for this opportunity, these opportunities that are coming in because it's a part of your priority. It's a part of what you've been praying for. It's a part of what you've been manifesting. It's a part of what you've been evolving, expanding, feeding life into. You know, you prayed for this. I'm hearing not Jodeci Child, Casey and JoJo. And all my life I pray for someone like you. And I thank God that I finally found you. Baby, you have found the path. You found the path. Congratulations. You found the path. You found the cheat codes and you found the path. It never had to be hard. It never had to be difficult. You've never had to give and do too much. Never. You just had to find your footing in who you are and what you know. For example, one of our butterflies, so we started this week our workshop boot camp for the book publishing, okay? And we were putting together the partners and stuff last night to begin the process of our content editing, outlining, and all that jazz, and on Zoom. And so when we were reflecting in the evening, she said, I didn't realize I already knew so much. Like I already had this. It just had to be tapped into. That's one thing I always share. We all have an area where we are a freaking expert in. We all have an area of something that we're an expert in. Okay? It's just all about what we do with that energy. We live in a world that wants us to always aspire to be something that's not already in us. So we spend all this time aspiring and becoming versus being. Because our being is from natural experiences that we've already naturally gone through and we've mastered. Now, there's nothing wrong with becoming something outside of yourself of who you're not already. But if the majority of your process and your goals is geared towards continuously becoming and aspiring, you never have time to be grounded and be. You are already a master in something. I say that all the time. You are already a master of something. Oh, excuse me. You are already a master of something. And that's your lane. This is my little slushy. That's your cheat code. That's your lane, and that's your cheat code. The things that you already are a master of, the things that you already know how to do amazingly, that's where your wealth and your abundance comes through to you through. It's not something that's outside of you. It was never something that was outside of you. That's a part of capitalism. That's a part of a society that wants you to chase your tail because it keeps other systems afloat. It keeps other systems going. But remember, you are a glitch in the matrix. We talking cheat codes now. Cheat codes mean you step outside of the system. You step outside of the ordinary. You step outside of the programming that was placed upon you and say, hey, I think I want to do this a little differently now. Okay? I think I want to do this a little differently now. I don't think I want to play the game like this anymore. I think I found the player that I like to play with the most. I found the weaponry. I like the cars. I've created what I want. I've created my avatar. Now it's time to get it popping. That's the energy. That's the energy. So I hope you're ready. Don't self-sabotage it. You deserve it. I need you to say this with me now. I deserve it. Okay? I deserve it because you do deserve it. You deserved it when you experienced it. Not saying you deserve what you had to experience, but I'm saying you deserve this abundance when you had to go through what you had to go through. Do you get what I'm saying? Let me see if anyone got the answer correct on the last one yet. I know someone was very close, and I went in the comments. If y'all look through, I was like, maybe people not nosy like me, baby. Okay, because I was putting clues in the comments. I actually the first clue was in my pinned comment. The first clue was in my pinned comment, which relates to the country. But someone did get the country correct, but they did not get the city correct. And this is a place where I've talked about a lot because of what it's known for. Um, so yeah, I'll put the clue in the pinned comment of this one as well. Um, Shout out to those of you all who participated in it. That was fun. But that is the vibe of what I have for this message. I have a couple other messages, but I feel like this is the one that you needed to hear the most just for confirmation of the direction that you're headed and confirmation for what you are about to be experiencing, what you are about to be tapping into. And know that the opposition coming around you, it is not out of the ordinary. It is not saying, oh, something is wrong with you. It's literally just there to let you know, hey, you are in alignment. And because you are in alignment and outside of the programming, we got to get you back in order. We got to update the system. We have to get you back into line. We got to get your code back together. Okay? But you are in control of that. No one else is in control of it over you. And so I thank you all for being here. I thank you all for your likes, your comments, your shares, and your subscribes here on the channel. I thank you for the shares of the videos. I thank you for all your kind words as well. You all really have received this shift very beautifully. which just aligned even more with, like what I was feeling and the vibe. And so I thank you all for that. Um, and yeah, if you're interested in any personal sessions, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, all that jazz, y'all check out my website at monaco.com. And as always be real, always be true. Don't be afraid to do what your higher self and your spirit team is calling for you to do. Period. I thank y'all and I love y'all, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.